Hi guys, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're enjoying this Monday. It's the beginning of the week. It's the beginning of, I'm a person that really likes Mondays. A lot of people don't like Mondays, but for me, it's a day where it's kind of like it's the beginning. It's kind of like the beginning of a week of where you can do something different. Where I don't know. I think that the way that you begin your week is the way that you're gonna see the rest of your week. So I think it's all about our attitude. So we begin with a positive attitude. I think that your week can actually be, more positive and more enjoyable too. I think because when you end up with when you start thinking about like, oh, it's already the beginning of the week, and I have been there before where I'm tired and I'm just like, I really want for it to be Friday already, but overall I've always liked Mondays just because, like I said, it's just the beginning of the week. It's the beginning of something new, and it's another opportunity to make it a great week. And so anyway, hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. I'm enjoying it. I've been reading, and it is cleaning day today, so I also, call me crazy, but I enjoy doing that too. It's very, I guess, I don't know, it's kind of relaxing in a way. But anyway, I did want to talk to you guys about seasons, and I don't mean like summer, winter, fall, like all those. I don't mean that kind of a season, although I am excited for the fall and for the cooler weather, so I am excited about that. But I wanted to talk to you guys about seasons in your spiritual life. I think it's very important for us to know what season we are in, because I think that when we know what season we're in, we're able to get through it, a lot better than if we really don't know what season in our life we are in. For example, when it's winter time, we know that we have to wear, a coat. We start, getting our boots out, our scarves, gloves, all of our winter clothes. We start preparing for it, right? And so I think it's like that in our spiritual walk with God, that we really need to um, just kind of like be in the same I guess frequency, knowing what season we are in our life. For example, for me, I think it was very, very helpful for me to know what season I was in my life, because I really felt like this past year I was in a season of refinement, and ever since the beginning I just felt like that's what it was. And it was really important for me to know that, because although I wanted to pray for God to heal me already, and for God to take it away, and for God to just, do a miracle and just get me better. Deep inside, I knew that wasn't going to happen, because there was something that God was trying to teach me during this season. And so when I would ask God, I'm like, okay, God, help me to know how to pray for my situation. And so I just really felt like I needed to pray for strength. And so I knew that I was in a season where all of this, when I was really dealing with all of this, my health issues, I knew it wasn't over, because I knew that God was asking me to ask for strength. And so I'm like, okay, I need to ask for strength. That means that this is not over. And so then again, I asked, and he's like, okay, ask for strength. And so I continued to pray for that. And I remember um, then there came a time where he was guiding me through different scriptures, that after some suffering, there comes a time where he's going to bring restoration, that he's going to restore, that he's going to establish, he's going to settle, and so I knew that that's where I was in that point in my life. And so and there was a time where I remember there was one day where I just kept on hearing the number 4, and I was like, 4, what does that mean? I'm like, God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you talking about 4? And so I just kept on hearing the number 4. And okay, 4. And I'm like, God. And so I just prayed about it. I'm like, God, what does that mean? What are you trying to tell me? And then I was just washing my hands, and I just heard it. I just heard, the foundation is done. It is time to build up. And I just heard that clearly in my spirit, and I'm just like, I knew what that meant, because the foundation has like the 4 sides. And so that's what that 4 meant. And it was so funny because it's actually been exactly 4 years where that I've been going through all of this, heartache and pain and struggles and everything. It's been 4 years. And so that this is the beginning of my 5th year. And so and then there was another verse that really spoke to me about the 5th year. And so it's just so amazing. And I think it really, you hear God when you're spending time with him, and through his word, you just know that there's something in your spirit that really just kind of like bears that truth of that word that you're reading, or that somebody's speaking, or or when you're praying, you just know. And so I think it's really important for you to know the season that you're in, because for me, I knew I was in this time of refinement. And so that really helped me to kind of like, to not complain, because I knew, like, okay, God, it was really hard. And but I knew that I'm like, okay, God, this is really, really hard, and I do want to get through it, but I'm going to trust you that you are doing what needs to be done. And so I go, make make have your way in my life. And so I think that for me, that was really important for us to know. And so when like right now, I feel like I'm in a season of restoration where God is just really building everything up. And so I know that I have to put my effort into it. And so that also just gives you peace to know, like, that this a chapter has ended and something has begun, something new has begun. And so it's just been so amazing. And God, just the way he speaks to you, and there's been so many different things that God has spoken in my life, and just through his Holy Spirit, through his word, through people just speaking things over my life. And it's just been really amazing. It's just and I can't stress enough how important it is for you to know what season you're in. And something that I want to say too is that just because you are going through some really tough moments in your life, it does not always mean that you're not in the will of God. Because I felt, even though I was going through some really tough moments, I just felt like this is where I need to be. Like I didn't feel, I don't know, I didn't feel like I was out of his will. I felt like I was where I needed to be, even though it was really painful. It was really hard. But I remember he spoke to me, like the Holy Spirit just really just put something in my spirit. It was like, all of this was needed for you to grow, to mature spiritually. And I knew that. And that's what also, that just gave me a lot of peace. And so for us to know where we are at, it brings you peace, and it helps you to just kind of like wait on God. And also it helps you to know what to do. For example, for me, I just knew I just needed to wait until God said this was over. And so when he said that, this was the new beginning, that's when I finally was able to go to the doctor and get some medication, and I started getting better. And so I just knew it was the time of restoration. And that's the place where I'm at right now, where God is restoring and God is rebuilding things in my life. And so so yeah, I think it's really important for you to know. And like I said, like I was saying, I didn't finish saying this, but just because you're in a place where it's hard, it doesn't mean that you're not in the will of God. For example, what comes to mind is just because, it's kind of like when Jesus was led by the Holy Spirit into the wilderness to be tested, to be tempted. Just because he was going through that time in his life, where those 40 days where he was he was fasting, even though that was really hard, it doesn't mean that he was not in the will of God. And just because he was, also when he was being crucified, when he was being mocked, when he was being spit on, when he was being beaten, just because that was a difficult moment in his life, it doesn't mean that he was not within the will of God. So I think that sometimes we think, and I think we are mistaken when we think that that being in the will of God is going to be comfortable. Being in the will of God is going to be easy. Being in the will of God it's like no troubles at all. And I think that that's really, really a false and a wrong mentality for us to have. Or even the word breakthrough. We have to be really careful when we are talking about breakthroughs. Sorry, because sometimes we're thinking that a breakthrough is when we are no longer going to have any more struggles, any more pain, or any more heartache. And that's not true. That's not the truth. The truth is that if we are Christians and we are following Christ, and the truth is that we are going to experience a lot of heartache. We are going to experience pain, and we're going to experience, because there's a lot of sacrifices that need to be done, and that is what carrying our cross means. And that no matter what, we're going to continue to walk and be faithful to God. And so, yeah, my brothers and sisters, it's just really important for us to know what season we are in our life. Maybe it's a time for you to really invest time with God. And for me, I think that this time of this whole year, when I was really sick physically, I was able to spend a lot of time with God, and I felt like he was doing a lot of refinement in my heart, and he was teaching me so much about him. He There was so many things that that I thought I was okay in certain areas, where he just kind of like brought me a little bit higher in that area, meaning like he gave me better understanding. And so but I knew that it was really hard, but it was also very rewarding. It was an amazing time with God, and I'm still here. I'm still spending time with God. And so I just really encourage you that for you to ask God if, whatever, maybe you're in a season where you're just really just sowing, in a season where, you're being, God is really blessing you. I don't know, whatever season it is that you might be in right now, but just enjoy it. Enjoy that season. And sometimes, even if it's hard, what it means to enjoy it is in embracing your season means that you're going to get the best out of it, the most out of your season that you can, because there are differences in people where you can go into a season and maybe the same person can experience the same thing, but one person can really learn through it, and maybe the other person is just going to be kind of like they're just going to grow bitter because of the heartache or the trials that they're going through. So it's really, really different. And so what I mean by embracing it is that spend time with God and see what God is trying to tell you in this moment. So I don't know what season you're in, my brothers and sisters, but ask God, and then just pray along. Pray whatever it is that God is telling you. If God is telling you that he wants to bless you in this season, then pray for those blessings. If he wants you to grow, that ask him to teach you to help you grow, to teach you faith, whatever it is. I don't know. I know for me right now, he's really just teaching me a lot of different things. And so I'm just really excited to see what comes up next. But anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Adios.